This is off topic just a bit, but do you mind if I...
People of this country are being violated because all of our privacy is being taken up by Elon Musk and Trump, and we don't know what all they have on us. We don't know what all they have on us.
If your parents had not named you Chance the Rapper, do you think you would have pursued a different career?
My parents didn't name me Chance the Rapper. That's a stage name.
Any siblings?
I have one brother, yeah.
What's he do for a living?
He's a rapper, too.
What is his name? Community Chess the Rapper?
I don't like that joke.
Will you just give these a chance? They're fine.
Mr. President, you recently said of Vice President Harris, quote, "I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black." I want to ask a bigger picture question here tonight. Why do you believe it's appropriate to weigh in on the racial identity of your opponent?
I don't, and I don't care. I don't care what she is. I don't care. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be is okay with me.
But those were your words, so I'm asking...
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out, and I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her. That's up to her.
Vice President Harris, your thoughts on this?
Just to pause. That is the reality. That's the reality. Why does he not have a right to ask that question? It's a little strange for someone to just become a different race. I don't know. Could she just clarify? Like, he read somewhere where she was black, and he read somewhere where she wasn't black, and then suddenly she appeared on the scene trying to get some votes, and yeah, black. Like he says, black. Suddenly she's black. I don't care. I just want to know whatever she wants to be, she can be. I guess you can pick your gender. I guess you can pick your race. But this is weird. Okay, this shows you that she is desperate to win and will say and do anything if she thinks that she can get away with it. And that's why it matters. And here is her non-answer that she gives. Take a listen.
Honestly, I think it's a tragedy that we have someone who wants to be president who has consistently, over the course of his career, attempted to use race to divide the American people.
Okay, sweetie, what you're doing is worse because you're attempting to flip your race so that you can unite a bunch of American people behind you. That's like so much worse. And you're pretending. And of course, she doesn't answer the question because she got caught lying and she just wants to get away with it. She's just going, oh, no, he's racist for even asking the question. She's not going to answer it because she got caught, quite literally caught lying. This woman is not black. I want to be very clear. She is not black. OK, it's fine. Just like Trump says, it's fine. I don't care if she's black. I don't care if she's not black. She can be whatever she wants to be. But we should at least be critical of the fact that she actually did this and that she, instead of owning it or apologizing for it, she's doing the old DC dip and twirl. You guys remember that? I'm telling you about this from the Will Ferrell movie. Take a look.
Cam Brady just gave you the old DC dip and twirl. Just danced around the question.
She was doing that all night, just doing the DC dip and twirl and dancing around the questions that she was being asked.
I got you a gift, and it's...
Jeez, I wonder what that is.
It's a bassoon.
Yeah. I thought it was a bowling ball. You know, I'm a... Thank you. You know I'm a dad now.
It's a bassoon. You can play them for your kids.
Yeah, we don't bassoon in my house anymore.
Every single game they play resembles gambling because they're all gambling addicts.
Oh, yeah.
That's why they're in debt. Red light, green light, it's like the horse race. The carousel one, that was roulette. If you look at each one of the doors, they had different numbers. That was roulette, bro. Another like hidden detail too. In season 1, literally all the games you're gonna play are on the wall.
Yeah, I know.
The most obvious whenever you're looking at the wall, it's a huge checkerboard.
That's the human chess thing
Yeah, human chess. But what if it's not chess?
What do you think it is?
My theory, the reason I don't think it's chess is because I think it's something even crazier. It ties into one of the new games the recruiter was playing with all of the homeless people. He had a bun, he had
the lottery ticket,
and asked them choose one. The next game, final game maybe, is a scratch off ticket.
So lottery ticket or what is
Check it out. It's gonna be Minesweeper. You're gonna choose. It's literally a big chessboard, but it looks way too big to be a chessboard. That's literally Minesweeper, but it's gonna be like a lottery ticket. So they choose which one they want to go on, and then they reveal whether it's a bomb or they survive.
That makes more sense because chess is too much strategy. In Squid Games, there's no strategy, and Minesweeper is luck.
Yeah.
Children are born in the house. You feel me? My children are homeschooled. Okay.
You don't take them to the hospital or none of that?
Nah, but I'm not extreme. So if it was necessary, I would, but it hasn't been necessary. You know, one of the things, I mean, we gotta look at the hospital, just to detour a little bit. They'll have would you lay down to defecate? Like, if you had to use the bathroom and you get closer and closer to your house and you're like, man, it's starting to really come out, would you then go to the toilet and lay down to try to make it come out? No, you wouldn't. You would squat. That's kind of like what we do when we're on the toilet. But now here's a woman that's supposed to give birth to a child in the medical institutions where all these people with certificates are going to turn around and tell that woman to lay down, to go against gravity and compromise the integrity of her spine, all right, and then want to induce labor, all right, and give her epidurals. And if the child is born inside of 30 to 45 minutes from the time of that shot, then the child comes out, the eyes closed, we thinking it's perfectly normal, but the child is drugged up. That's crazy. But we go to Egypt, like I went to Egypt, and I went to the world's first hospital, Temple Philae, and you see all over the walls, the women squat and do not go against gravity. But they were the ones that's considered to be incompetent. But today in contemporary science, we got women still laying down. And even the placenta, because I delivered my daughters. I didn't cut the placenta when the baby came out. We let the afterbirth come out. And we let the placenta continuously contract so the rest of the stem cells could get to the child, which would diffuse the potentiality of the child actually getting sick. And it heightens that child's consciousness. Absolute fact, my daughter was 4 years old speaking 4 languages, my Hotep Atumre. So, but we cut it the second the child was born. And if we were to go to the hospital right now and say, I would like to keep the afterbirth, they would give us hell. We would have to sign all sorts of applications and everything just to have entitlement to something that comes out of that woman's body. We would actually sign off papers if we had to go to the hospital for the people that tell, make sure you get your placenta, make sure you get your afterbirth. They will give you hell to do that. Why? Because it has so much DNA and so much of those stem cells that's used to cure people that come from a different demographic, who have more genetic implications, right? And they use us as the fountain of youth. It's no different from Henrietta Lacks, the oldest woman on planet Earth. They've been still using her cells from the time she was alive decades ago, okay? Henrietta Lacks, they use her cells to create the remedy and the cures for several of the diseases that we are subject to today as a black woman. And we look her up and we'll see they've been using her DNA from the time that she died without the permission of her family to cure people of other races. Henrietta Lacks, you can look it up. So the reason why I don't take my children to the hospital, the reason why I suggest, we have doulas and midwives. Do it at home. It's because, for one, you don't want to be exploited genetically and financially, because anything that has a certificate on it, like a birth certificate, has a QSIP, and a QSIP is a Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Procedure, and the key word is security. And the security is a paper certificate that attests to ownership and equity, as in the case of a stock, or ownership of a bond, as in the case of a debt obligation, which has tradable derivatives, which means it can be sold in the stock market. So all this merely means, if you have a death certificate, you have a birth certificate, you have a marriage certificate, somebody is making money. There's already been a promissory note. There's already a promise what this person is going to make. And your failures cost money. Your failures make people money. Like, if you get married and you have over $15,000, $20,000 in back taxes due, they won't allow you to get a divorce. Now, what part of your marriage said that in the contract? You feel me? That means the state is making some money off the situation. So that man could be abusing you. You could be on the verge of dying in that relationship. You ain't going to get that divorce if you owe too much property taxes. You didn't know that when you married him, that was part of the implication, but it has a QSIP on it, a Committee on Uniform Securities Identification Procedure. And the word security intimates that there's a debt obligation. So you can't be brought into this world without someone monetizing it. You can't die without someone monetizing it. You can't get together without someone monetizing it, because we go into the legal context of law, we'll see that the word minority means what? An adult that thinks in an adolescent state of mind, that needs a third-party medium to help them facilitate. Under normal circumstances, they wouldn't. So you are acting in your minority. It's a dichotomy to the words that we use. So we may use the word minority and think that it loses a percentage. But when we're dealing with law, we see the word minority means that you're an adult that can't make decisions on your own. So you need someone to marry you. You need someone to send you to Allah or to God or to Jehovah or Yahweh Shai or Yeshua. You need somebody to bring you into this world, because you can't do it yourself because you're too incompetent. So for that reason, in addition to the health implications, a child being in the womb of a mother for 9 months, darkness. Then to be subject to lights that do not biologically embed. Sunlight grants us intelligence, and it communicates higher thoughts and frequency to us, which empowers the body to be able to facilitate in ways that is most conducive and progressive for the human body. But to bring a child out of darkness for 9 months, conception, and a woman has to go through 3 perfect ovulations for her to even be able to conceive. So 3 months inception, 9 months conception, 12 months totality. That child is born from darkness, subject to all these bright hospital lights. That's wicked. You know how you feel when you're in a dark house for a long period of time and then you go out and the sun is there? You get this headache. Imagine how the child feels when the child is born after being submerged in the darkness of the mother's womb, only to come out to these bright lights and to be held by someone that's not even the father, someone that contributed to the birth of the child, but to a stranger. And then this woman cannot keep her child long enough because then she got to go on maternity leave, so she got to go back to work, right? So that psychologically plagues that child because that child's not ready to let go of their mother, but she has to go back to work. So we have to work harder to get our women off the clock because 6 months is not enough time for someone that stayed in the womb for 9 months and 3 months ovulation. Because when a woman is born, she's born with all the ovate cells she'll ever have. So when a woman is born, she's born with all the children she will potentially have. And she is a summation of all the stress incurred, all the damage and all the affliction that she may have had to endure. Our children are a summation of everything she experienced from the time she came into this world, which is why we teach that the black woman is God and we got to protect and honor her. And we don't mean it that she created every single thing here. We mean she's part of everything that is here outside. So we got to respect our women. We got to understand whatever we do to her afflicts our children before they even conceive.
What are your predictions for this election?
Obviously, my hope and my encouragement is for everyone to get out and vote for Trump, because if you are between the two people, I mean, one wants to usher in a state of communism, right? So if you are really believing, because this woman is half Indian and she's not even half black, just to be clear, like we can't even get clarity on that. She might be like 10% black somewhere, but even her father is Indian. So it's just completely wild. If you think that that's a reason for you to ignore the policies that she has supported and you don't think it's going to impact your life, man, look around. How are we at the phase right now, Eden, where people are not even believing their own eyes? Like, everybody knows they were living better under Trump. And they're buying the rhetoric that when Trump gets into office, like, you're going to be back in slave chains. And I'm like, he was already in office. Like, how can somebody convince you against your own experiences? Like, it's amazing to me how propaganda works.
Yeah.
But, I'm with Trump. I support Trump. I hope that Trump wins. But I don't have enough faith in our institutions to put in a guess and say, like, he's definitely got this thing,
Yeah, I agree with exactly what you just said.
Oh my God. Hey, how are you?
So great to see you.
This is Jerry.
Hey, Cardi.
How are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Wow,
Jerry,
this
can
is...
you take the crate? There's a milk crate that I put it. Cardi, you sit there.
Yeah, but...
Move down. Hi. Cardi B, Zachy G, Jerry J.
What's the J?
Jew.
There once was a president named JFK, well-liked. In 1963, he had a little bit of a brush-up with what was then known as the American Zionist Council. In June of that year, 1963, the American Council for Judaism issued a newsletter saying that they were being asked by the Justice Department to register as a foreign agent of the State of Israel. And they had Senate hearings, 2 Senate hearings that year, to look into Israeli foreign agents. And JFK was demanding, his DOJ was demanding for the AZC registration. You are a foreign agent of Israel. And the department wrote to them in October 11th of 1963, the DOJ wrote a demand to the AZC, the American Zionist Congress, to respond within 72 hours regarding them registering as a foreign agent. And guess what happened? And I guess that ended up working in their favor, because then LBJ became president. And LBJ was very pro-Zionist organization. And his aunt, and this is, by the way, looking at a Jerusalem Post headline here, because I know I get in trouble for knowing these things. A friend indeed. New evidence reveals the incredible aid Lyndon Johnson lent to the Jews. And from a direct quote from that article is, research into Johnson's personal history indicates that he inherited his concern for the Jewish people from his family. His Aunt Jessie Johnson Hatcher, a major influence in LBJ, was a member of the Zionist Organization of America. Aunt Jessie had nurtured LBJ's commitment to befriending Jews for 50 years. As a young boy, Lyndon watched his politically active grandfather, Big Sam, and his father, Little Sam, seek clemency for Leo Frank, the Jewish victim of blood libel in Atlanta. Fast forward today, AIPAC has just surpassed $100 million of spending on the 2024 election.
This is off topic just a bit, but do you mind if I borrow 1 or 2 of your sperms?
No, I think that would be inappropriate.
Okay, it's just written down here. I have to ask.
I understand.
After a big meal on Thanksgiving, do you ever like unbutton your pants and just sit back and go, "Oh boy"?
Don't recall doing that.
Squid Game has so much symbolism with horses. When Gion first got sent to the Squid Game and he got in trouble because he didn't have money, what was it for?
Yeah, he was
for a horse race, right?
Yeah.
Season 2, when they're going to crack down on the front man, they went to the Halloween party. Bro picks up a mask. What was the mask of? It was a green horse.
Oh.
Remember? The color's important for later.
Why?
Season 2, the games they played is very similar to a horse derby. Remember that one where they're running around in the
carousel?
Carousel one, that's one. There was 3 horses there. But actually, there was 4. Because if you count Gihun as one of the 4, that's 4 horses. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. There's 4. Gion is the green one. Because obviously, when he's wearing the tracksuit, it's what color? Green. My theory is, there's gonna be 4 horses that will take down the Squid Game as the 4 horses of the apocalypse.
Oh, okay.
4 people are gonna take down Squid Game. In the Book of Revelation, where the 4 horsemen are talked about, the first one being green, Gion, wearing green, it's obvious. Number 2 is the white horse. The white horse is the
whatever happened to the daughter
of
Gion?
Gion's daughter?
This is my own prediction. In the end credits, you remember they flashed the boy doll?
Yeah.
And there was also right after a train light that said either green or red.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was like train track.
Yeah, train track. What makes sense in this situation of ethics?
Yeah.
The railway question, the trolley question.
Oh,
So
that's what it's gonna be, the trolley question.
Yeah, and this is my prediction. It's either gonna be Jihyun's daughter or it's like a bunch of contestants. Oh, that's my own.
That's crazy.
If that happens, man's clip that. Maybe it's like the front man saying, regardless of what's happening, fam, people are gonna.
Yeah.
And what's the trolley game? Regardless, people are gonna.
Yeah, yo,
So
that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
Appreciate the watch, y'all. Hope y'all liked it. Whisper about it, pass it on, comment, like, and share. And I'll be posting a video tomorrow of our day at the pantry today. Whisper about it. God bless.